Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Finally I can sit down and finish up this picture for you. I must say that I've colored in my girl's clothing already, and the details, the steampunk details, same with the fox, because it's just coloring in with some glitter gel pens and some alcohol-based markers. So I will be doing the shadowing with a colored pencil on top, but me seeing or me doing a base layer of alcohol markers would have been a bit of a time consuming process, and it's just coloring in. So that's why I've decided to skip that part so that I can finally finish this picture. So today I've grabbed my gouache paints, so I'm going to paint those clouds above, and then I will try to give my fox a fluffy look. He already has a fluffy look because of the gesso I've put on, but in daylight it's not visible with my daylight lamp, but in clear daylight it's yellowish. So that's not pretty at all. So I'm going to go on top with titanium white. And then you can also see how I do fur in paint. It's my first time. It was, no, the second time. The first time was with this gesso. So I just tried it and I thought it was quite funny. So it was nice to share. And then for his fur on these sides, I'm going to mix burnt umber and latte brown. Those two colors are here on the palette, and then my white is there. I've only grabbed a tiny bit, and I'm going in with a square brush, and I'm going to dab to don't make them too straight. I'm sorry that I'm sniffling. I just had a sneeze. And the gouache is covering up the black lines quite okay. And you get a nice playful effect by dabbing. You can even make your own pattern or design of cloud. I'm always putting not too much paint on the palette. I don't want to waste anything. So I hope everyone is doing okay. The heat wave here is finally over, but it's still hot inside. So yeah, it has been difficult to color, I must admit. You're more tired, less inspired also. And I'm going to add an extra cloud up here, also a light one and a small one, because they're quite, oh, they look quite heavy on camera. In real life it's quite okay. Maybe I will add some grayish tone, but that will be something for later on. I'm going to start the fox's fur now with the white. And I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit so that you can follow what I'm doing. I'm going to wet my brush. I'm using my favorite small one, and I see that there's a hair not well positioned. Okay, now it's okay. So let's see. So I'm just going to fairly and hardly touching the paper, going in with that paint. And I really like that fluffy look. It's not super easy because gouache, or this gouache, I haven't watered it down, is fairly yeah, sturdy. I think I'm going to water it down a little bit because it's really difficult to work in a fine manner. I really want a fluffy look. So I'm going to add a little bit of water on my palette. Not too much. Because it still has to cover up the black lines. That's better. So I'm going to try, and I can add his mouth later on again. Well, he has some really fluffy cheeks, I must say, but okay. He's a steampunk fox. I'm not going to lose too much sleep on it. No, this is too much. Thank God for nails. I really must learn a lot about gouache. But if we never try, we never learn something. Okay, I think I will leave him here. I'm going to add a little bit of paint again. It's really difficult. Whoa. It was easier with the gesso. But since that turns yellowish, I thought that gouache was better. Am I still? Yes. Here it is doing quite okay. Now I'm going to film this as long as I can. I'm expecting someone that comes to pick something up. And of course my husband will be home later on, so I will be doing this talking while I can. And maybe I will continue with a voiceover. Because I really miss recording videos. And I wanted to say that I really would like to focus on coloring videos. Again, I did a lot of review videos the past week. But of course, if I give my work to an artist or to a company that I will talk about their products, then I have to, of course. And I do it with a lot of pleasure, but I don't know if everybody likes these kinds of videos much, especially if they are quite often published on a channel. So I think for now I will do more color and chat videos and small tutorial videos. And I will do an unboxing because I've ordered myself something that I was quite fond of quite a while, and I finally decided that I should go for it. I'm going to add a little bit more of my paint on my palette. Add a bit of water, and then I think I'm going to throw this brush away soon, because those hairs that are jumping from left to right, they're annoying me. He has some really fluffy feet. I'm going to hide these lines a bit. Now, he has some fluffy feet. Okay. And a fluffy tail. I don't know if the end result pleases everybody. I don't even know if it pleases myself, but I'm enjoying the process of using a material that I am not familiar with, and I have the feeling that I'm learning something new, and that's always a nice feeling and a nice experience. Whoa, boy, you are a fluffy foxy. But okay, I like him. I think I like him, yes. Now I'm going to mix those two colors together to try to get a light brown, but I think that this dark brown will eat up my yellowish brown. And now I have a kind of dark latte color. Going to try and add some extra latte. See how it goes. I didn't have some orange looking paint. But I think this can be quite cooperative with that orangey fur. So I'm going to use this color. It's a bit of a muddy color. I'm going to add some extra water. And even if it's just for details, I'm going to start with his ears or extra shadows. It's quite hard to I'm having the feeling that my fox isn't going to be a wonderful one. But oh well. At least I've tried. And I can still add some white if I want to, if I'm not happy with how he's turning. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This isn't looking very wow. No. I'm sorry for the bump. I think I'm going to add some of this color here. Oh, it's too heavy. I'm going to add white in a lot of places, I think. No, I'm going to grab some white again. It's looking terrible. I'm going to stop this video for a moment because I'm already 20 minutes in and you know what happens after that. So I will be back in a second. Okay, some days passed by since I filmed my previous video on this page. I was a bit shocked on how I did my fox. So, and the moment I wanted to start to film part 2 of this video, my husband came home, and yeah, since then I didn't have any time left. So today we will be finishing up this page. As I've told already, I did put some colors down on her and on his details or his accessories, I mean. Because yeah, just watching me coloring in with a marker, you don't learn anything from that because it's just straight coloring. I also put down some shimmery details in her hair and for her jewelry. Same with his gears here. But the main details I will do on camera together with you guys. I've grabbed my Brutfuner pencils or my Gouache. They are also called like that. And I'm going to start with her eyes because that was my plan on one of the previous videos. I'm just going to add a bit of color around the border. I'm not a great eye colorist, but yeah, I try to see where it takes me. And I'm just going to move around this pupil also with a bit of color. And for some nice details, I think I will go in with some turquoise color just to make it a bit more playful. I think eyes really are not the easiest thing to color. And sometimes I'm just too stubborn to watch a tutorial about them. I know it's silly, but sometimes I really am stubborn if it comes to these types of things. I'm just sharpening my pencil with the Dala sharpener. And I'm going over the black lines here on the bottom. And I'm going to use some here also to create a bit of shade. Okay, I think her eyes is, or her eye is like I want it to be. I'm going to zoom in a bit. So it's quite simple, but I think I like it is now. I'm going to add a bit of extra white signal. Just a little bit. And then for her lips, I think I'm going for a bit of a Bordeaux color. And I'm going to zoom out again a little bit because otherwise it won't be quite well visible. And I'm just starting here in the corner and fading out towards the middle. Same on this side, same with the bottom. And then just beneath her top lip, I'm adding a bit of darker color and fade out a little bit too. I'm really feeling addicted to Hannah Lynn's pictures again. In the month of August, I want to try to do a new one. Not on camera, I think, because this took almost a month and I'm not used to be working on a picture for a month, but that was also due to the heat wave, of course, and that I wasn't able to film every time that I wanted to. So I do hope you've enjoyed this series. In the future, I will be doing more shorter videos. So I really am happy that I discovered this skin tone together with you. Oh yes, I wanted to mention, zoom out. On the previous video I did acrylic paint for these clouds here, but they were too bright. So I did use a leftover of my gouache that I used on the bottom layer on the fox, but I went over it with the white gesso, white gouache again, because it was super ugly. But the leftover paint from the gouache I've used on the clouds to make them more, interesting looking and have more, less white and more full and fluffy. So I like how they look now. So for her blouse and his little ribbon up here, I'm going to use quite a bold orange, I think. Which one will be nice? I think this one. It's the number 15. But of course, you can choose whatever color you want. Sometimes I think it's not always pleasant to tell which colors that I'm using, because I think it's part of the creative and learning process to search your own colors and to discover what will work for you. I hardly follow any color alongs or tutorials, just as I was saying, I'm a bit stubborn, and sometimes I like to make it a bit challenging for myself, and that's why I also don't write down the colors that I use on pictures. Only I did write down this skin color combo because I liked it very much, but other than that, really, sometimes I have a problem when there's a lot of time between a picture, then I really don't remember which colors that I've used on some parts, and that's part of the misery if you're not writing down or not making it yourself easy when coloring. But that's a bit how I am, I'm afraid, coloring wise. I'm going to add a bit of details here and there. Am I on camera? Yeah. Really like how this orange is turning out. And I love how the Brutfuners work on top of markers. And I'm not going to highlight every little thingy here. I'm just shading it quite basically, or quite basic, and sometimes it really works like that. Especially Hannah Lynn pictures, they work without any effort. I think that's why I love them so much. I really hope that Hannah brings out a lot more of her coloring books and her lovely girls. If you have a coloring slump, I've noticed it with myself already. If I have a bit of a coloring slump, I grab at a Hannah Lynn book and it's instant happiness. They are so nice because markers let the color pop, and adding shadows or extra details with pencil like I'm doing now is just the best feeling. And I'm glad I'm using these Brutfuner pencils again. It has been a while. I've been using my Pablos quite a lot the past colorings. And I was saying in my latest haul video that I always need time to fall in love with pencils, and that is how it is. I immediately felt that my Pablos were the best no, I'm exaggerating, not the best pencils. It's hard to say which pencil is the best because I adore my Holbeins also. I adore the Polychromos, so I really can't pick a favorite, but I wanted to say that I immediately felt that they were very good, but it's only up until now that I'm over the moon with them. I have learned which colors work together, and it asks time. It's as simple as that. Same with these Brutfunner pencils. These are very cheap, and at the beginning I thought they color nicely and I like them a lot, but once you start to know the pigment of the pencils and which colors that they are giving you, it's a feast to work with, and it's the case with every pencil. Same with pencils and paper. Some pencils are not as nice on some paper, like the Holbeins. I don't think they are that the paper of the Klara Markova books are giving the colorist the feeling that they are the best. I don't like working too much with them in the Klara Markova books. I think the paper is a bit too smooth, but I did like them in my Fabiana Attanasio book. Wow! I did my Hansel's face with the Holbein pencils, and they blended like a dream. I also used them on a Kanoko Egusa picture in Menuet de Bonheur. They work fantastic there also, but that was the first picture I did with them, and I didn't know my colors yet, and I still don't know them very well. So I'm looking forward to use the Holbeins this month a bit more than the past month, but to be honest, I did color a lot less last month because of the heat wave, so that's why all of my pencils had a bit of a resting time. I'm coloring without my protective page. That was I was feeling a bump, and it was my stickles on this page. I'm going to grab my protective sheet. Okay. Oops, I did have a bit of bleed through here, but that's not a big deal. It's only a small spot. So I hope the weather will be more normal here during August, so that or that I don't lose my coloring mojo again, because if it's near 40 degrees Celsius, you really don't want to move around a lot. Even coloring is moving around then. I just did quite some sitting in my couch and watching YouTube without moving a lot. So I really like this poppy color. Yeah, I love this combination. I hope it has the same intensity on camera than it has in real life. But yeah, so very simple coloring, not too much details going on with the different flaps here and there. Maybe I can add a bit of extra darkness here and there, but not too many. Some pictures can stay quite simple, and that's okay. Going to add some here. I'm not going in too crazy. There. Wow, I love her. I love her very much. I did a bit of smudging here. Lucky enough I could fix it a bit. Now for her pants. This is a turquoisey bluish color. Let me see if I have a decent type of blue. Oh, I think I have. I think I have the 898. No, 89. 89. Yeah, that's perfect. I think I haven't colored with this pencil yet because it still has its original point, so I'm going to sharpen this. Okay, so just like her top, and some basic shading. Oops, there goes my point. So with me explaining how I feel about pencils and how I have to grow on them, or that they have to grow on me, how do you experience that? Do you have the big love at first sight with all of your pencils, or do you start to appreciate them just after a while? Or yeah, how is it with you? The only pencils I think that I immediately fell in love with, I think, and it keeps on growing, are the Intenses, because they're so, it's not a colored pencil, of course, it's a special type of pencil, and because they are so different from other things, they grab me immediately. Although I still think they are not super easy to use. Even I have to learn, still have to learn more about them. But yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave her pants like this. So again, a very simple coloring. I have some glitter on his head, I think, yes. So I'm not going to go in with this pencil, but I will for his head with this one. I think it will, yeah, that's the great color. And that's what I like. If you get to know your pencils, you can grab the right colors quite quickly. And that's when you are so thankful that you have them at home. And here I'm just going to add a little bit of darker color here and there. And of course, this month I also want to get to know and learn the whole, not only the Holbeins, but also the luminance pencils. And once that I get to know these, it will be more easy to combine them with other brands. Also something I love doing. I'm going to leave her belt like it is because there's a lot of gel pen going on. But I will grab my white to highlight some parts in this belt. And on his head. And then I will go in on his fur to try and make it a bit more like fur again, because whoa, all these hairs. But I've learned something new, and that's not to exaggerate with your gouache. So I'm just going to add a bit of white here too. Sometimes I do like to highlight some parts extra with some white. And I'm going to take a look if I have my little pencil here. Yeah. Just grabbing my blender pencil to fade it a bit out. It's a Derwent one, by the way. Okay. And now for his fur, I'm going to use a bit of an orangey look that will match his fur color. And I'm going to take the 35. So I'm hoping I'm not going too wild, but I'm hoping this will give it a more decent look, and I'm not liking how I'm doing this. So that's the easy thing about paint. You can still erase it. I'm just going to do the outer parts of his fur, I think. Yeah, that's better. So just doing some small strokes. Well, we have quite of a rain at the moment. I hear it at the back. My windows are open and it's pouring at the moment. So it's Friday noon when I'm recording this, and it was predicted that we could have some rain today, combined with some sunshine. Okay. So if you're not fond of how the fox is looking, please don't follow what I did. Just do your own thing. This is just a saving thing I'm trying to do. But I think it's going to be quite okay with this little guy. He's one fluffy boy, but yeah. Oh, the rain is really falling. I don't know if you can hear it, but whoa, it is really and I've noticed I'm 25 minutes in already, so it's possible that my some part of the video is gone again. Hopefully not too much. So, okay. Okay, I just stopped this video for a few minutes, and glad I did, because the rain was pouring inside. So I had to clean the floor up a bit. Whoa! Almost, my pencil case almost died from my desk. Okay, I'm grabbing a brown color to color in this little pocket. Okay, I'm going to grab a darker brown as well to add some details. I'm going to sharpen this pencil too. So it won't be Mr. Perfect, my fox, but I think he looks better now with some extra pencil than only with that white gouache. I still have to learn my gouache, that's obvious. I do have a picture in mind to practice it on, but I don't know how it will turn out, but we will see. Overall, I think this is a lovely couple, and I had fun coloring in this page. I don't like how his ear has turned out, but yeah. And I'm going to add a bit of simple shadow area here and there. Give you a bit of extra details. Okay, and then I call this one finished. Maybe I can add some extra light yellow just to highlight this part a little bit. It's not giving that much effect, but just a little bit. And just adding some yellow here also. And now I call this one finished. I'm going to leave my pages, and I'm going to show it a bit closer up. So that you can see the details and the fluffy fox. So I have my torch. I just filmed my finished pages for the month of July. And I still have my torch here, so I can show all the shimmer that I've added. So on her gloves, I've used some Pentel Sparkle Pop, some Dual Hybrids, some jelly rolls, yeah, everything shimmery and glittery. And his head also has some shimmer. I forgot which paint that I've used for the moon. I think it was Paul Rubens, if I'm not mistaken. And in her hair she has some shimmer too. So the one thing that I will do as an extra is grab my Spectrum Noir Clear Sparkle to add some shimmer on this waterfall and a bit here on the water. Not too much, just a little bit here and there. And I'm going to take a look if it's visible. I'm not sure if it's... I think my torch is running out of its batteries. I'm not seeing too much glitter going on, but it is there. It's visible in daylight. I don't know if it's visible on camera, but it's visible in daylight. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. I hope you've liked this coloring series. I'm not sure if I will be doing one again because it takes a lot of time and I don't know if it's that interesting to follow a page from A to Z, especially if I can't film it quite quickly after each other. But I will see how it goes. It will just depend on how much time I have on my hands and if it's a more simple page, because this had quite some details, maybe it's more interesting to do so. But I do hope you like this one. The fluffy fox wasn't supposed to be this fluffy, but oh well, I think he's quite adorable nevertheless. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope that my video hasn't lost too much footage while not noticing my time limit. I wish I had a manner to fix it, but unfortunately I really don't know how to. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you have any questions, please mention them down below, and we will talk soon in another video. Bye bye and take care.